Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnaprishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, welcome to everyone. Today we are going to see the second part of Madhvacharya philosophy. The previous class we have discussed about different philosophies like Buddhism, then Advaitavada by Shankaracharya, then Vishishtadvaitavada by Ramanujacharya, and Dvaitavada by Madhvacharya. So why Madhvacharya appeared, that also we have discussed. So how Lord systematically brought this Vedic knowledge back to Sanatana Dharma. When people were very addicted to meat eating on pretext of Shastras, Lord appeared as a Buddha in order to stop them. Then Shankaracharya appeared on the order of Lord Krishna to divert people from Buddhism to Shastras. He propagated the philosophy of Advaita. There is no difference between soul and the super soul. Both are one and the same. This is the philosophy of Advaitavada. Then later, after a few hundred years, Ramanuja appeared and he clearly distinguished between the soul and the super soul. And the soul has to render service unto the super soul. Only by the path of bhakti one can attain mukti. Then after attaining liberation, the soul enters into the body of Lord and they become the soul and the super soul, particularly the Lord and the devotees are one. So then later Madhvacharya appeared and he started giving the explanation, Dvaitavada, and clearly distinguished between the soul and the super soul. The soul is eternally servant of Lord Krishna, whether in the conditioned state or in the liberated state. Even after liberation, he maintains the individuality always. So, this is the way Madhvacharya brought back that our real dharma. The real dharma is we are part and parcel of Krishna. We are eternal servant of Krishna. Our only duty is to serve Lord Krishna. So, when 13th century, when Brahma Sampradaya was practically obscured by the philosophies of Buddhism and Mayavadi philosophy, Lord Brahma was very upset. So he had to go to Lord Vishnu along with the demigods. They explained the problem. My dear Lord, my Sampradaya is about to disappear because of dominance of this Buddhism and Mayavadi philosophy. At the time, Lord Vishnu ordered Vayu and told, you're going to appear as Madhva and explain the personal form. My transcendental form is the lost word in the absolute truth. My personal form is the lost word in the absolute truth. In other words, the absolute truth is realized in three phases: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Bhagavan realization is the final realization of the absolute truth. This is what Lord Vishnu told to Vayu. You incarnate as Madhva to propagate this philosophy. Then later, Vayu appeared as son of Madhvacharya Bhatta and Vedavati. And he performed wonderful pastimes during his childhood that we have discussed in the previous class. The last pastime that we had discussed when the boy Vasudeva Madhvacharya, he was young, around 3 year old, Mother took him to a neighboring village where there was a program was held and different cultural program, sacrifice, and many program was conducted there. The boy was taken there. The small boy was Deva, and mother went to attend some wedding there. The boy was not interested in the wedding and other things and the family meetings. The boy went to attend one class. So boy started hearing the class of one professional reciter who was speaking on some Puranas. Then the boy got up and said, "Your explanation does not match according to the saintly people like Vyasdeva and Shukadeva Goswami." Then he started giving his own explanation. He corrected the speaker. All the audience, when they saw this boy, small boy, 3-year-old boy, who is speaking so nicely on the philosophy, they all appreciated. This was the last pastime, the last sessions we had. So continue. Let us discuss now. So when he reached around probably 5 year, around 5 year, generally a father would award sacred thread ceremony around when the child is some 10-year-old. But when he saw Vasudeva father Madhvacharya Bhatta that his son is qualified to receive second initiation, sacred thread initiation, then he conducted the ceremony because he was spiritually advanced. Who Vasudeva was spiritually advanced, and father knew very well that my son is qualified to receive. Although the children, when they reach at the age of 10, they would receive sacred thread. Nevertheless, son, he is very strong in philosophy, studying Shastra, was well versed in the philosophy. Therefore, he was fit to receive this second initiation, sacred thread ceremony, sacred thread. After receiving the sacred thread, he was going to, after the ceremony, he went to Pajakshetra. So there he encountered one big snake that had 5 heads. Previously, the snake was a demon named Maniman, who was killed by a Bhima in Kurukshetra. This snake had the demon had some kind of grudge against Bhima. He took birth as a powerful snake to uh, take revenge. Incarnation of Vayu, Madhvacharya. Once this Vasudeva and his friends, they were playing near one hill, near one temple is there called Durga temple. So that's a 2.5 kilometers from the Pajak Kshetra's birthplace, his house. And small hill, on the small hill there is one temple. So he was playing there along with the other friends. After playing that, he was walking along with his friends. The powerful snake immediately pounced upon this boy and bit him, Vasudeva. And all the children were panic stricken and started running, and people went and told their mother that Vasudeva was bit by a snake, powerful snake. It's a 5 head has got, the snake has got 5 heads. All the people thought, they are filled with anxiety for the small boy, because even small snake, when it bites small boy, naturally he may die. But what about such a huge snake that had 5 heads? So everyone was filled with anxiety for this boy. What would happen? But actually, the boy Vasudeva, he did not disturb. He was not disturbed, and in fact, he crushed the snake with his toe and killed the snake. Then all the people came and saw that there was no sign of biting the snake, bite of the snake, and everyone felt relieved. And generally, this boy would always give anxiety to parents because he would always be absorbed in playing. Parents would keep calling. He would not come at all. One day they made agreement. Whatever you want to do, do. I have no issue. But whenever we call, you must come on time. That's all we want. You play wherever you go. We don't mind. You play. But whenever we call, you should come immediately. That was agreement between the mother and the son. So one day he was playing there in the hill near Durga temple. He was playing with the mother started calling Vasudeva, Vasudeva, and he was so absorbed in the play and he could not hear. Then finally, somehow he could hear mother is calling. Simply jumped from the hill to his house, just like a Hanuman leaps to Gandhamadra hill to bring herbs for Lakshman. Similarly, son of Vayu jumped from the top of the hill and directly went to his house. So still, we can see that the footsteps of Madhvacharya near his house. It's almost 2 kilometers. It's a 2 kilometer from the top of the hill to house. Then mother was pleased to see son, and she was not aware that he killed the snake, powerful snake. Nevertheless, she always cared for her child. Then later, in the school, he was sent to school. He was always a leader. Even when he was a small boy, 5 6 year old boy, he was considered to be a leader of the school. So all the students would follow him, and he was first in studies or play or sometimes wrestling match will be there. He would also do the wrestling match. He would involve in the sports. So he always would be first. So naturally, all the people would follow this boy, small boy. And most of the time, the boy would bunk the class and would go home for eating because he always would eat more, feel hungry. So he would run away from the school, bunk the class and go. One day, teacher, he was very upset and said, "My dear so and so, why are you not so serious in your studies? Always you go and eat and come, and you see that all the students they are so serious. Why can't you study with them and why can't you sit with them and study properly? Don't you wish to become scholar like them?" So at the time the boy said, "My dear teacher, what is the point in learning the already that I've learned? I don't like to repeat again and again. So whatever you taught, everything I know." So the teacher felt offended. "Okay, tell me what you learned today class, whatever I taught you, please tell me." The boy started quoting all the verses perfectly with perfect pronunciation. Not only he told what he had learned in the past class and something which was not learned, something which a teacher did not teach, that also is told. And the teacher was struck with wonder. How is it possible for the small boy that is able to quote the verse so perfectly, with perfect pronunciation? And I was very happy to see such a talented disciple. Then later, one day, this boy was hearing uh, Aitareya Upanishad. The boy was hearing Upanishad called Aitareya Upanishad, which glorifies the transcendental activities of Lord Vishnu, about the glories of Lord Vishnu. He was very happy to hear this Upanishad because he likes the glories of Lord Vishnu. Later, this Upanishad has become like one of his favorite Upanishads among all the Upanishads. When his teacher was quoting some verse from this Upanishad, and this boy stopped, interrupted in between, and he gave the correct explanation of what his teacher was teaching. And teacher was really stuck. And rather, of course, he was very much pleased to see a disciple is explaining better than what I had explained. He was very pleased. And this way, this Vasudeva studied nicely, and he pleased his teacher very much in all aspects. And after his studies, he had to leave the teacher. The last day of school, that he has to leave the school, and teacher was very unhappy to see such a wonderful talent disabled is leaving, because he completed studies, and he does not want to lose such a beautiful, wonderful, talented disciple. Nevertheless, he had to go, he had to study further. So at the time of leaving, he had to pay some Guru Dakshana. Students generally had to pay Guru Dakshana. So he gave the Guru Dakshana, the love of God, to his teacher, Krishna Prema. Then the teacher bid farewell to the boy, and after that, the boy went home and he was seriously contemplating how to defeat this Mayavadi philosophy, how to establish the personal worship of Lord, personalist philosophy. So he was constantly contemplating, somehow or other, I should preach the message of God for which I have appeared. So he was contemplating, then later he decided that I should take sannyasa. I should take sannyasa. If I take sannyasa, then I'll be able to preach better. So he decided. Meanwhile, his father, he wanted to, he was looking for a suitable Vaishnava girl so that he can get his son married. Whereas Vasudeva was not interested in the family life and all. His plan was to accept sannyasa and to preach Krishna consciousness philosophy. That was only aim of Vasudeva. So he was seriously contemplating, but whereas the father was looking for a girl, but it's not matching. At the time, we heard, Vasudeva heard that there is one sannyasi, one tapasvi, is there near Udupi, in one small place, and he belonged to Brahma Sambradaya. His name was Achyuta Preksha. This Achyuta Preksha, he belonged to Brahma Sambradaya. And 300, 400 years before Madhvacharya appearance, all the people in the Brahma Sambradaya were not competent enough to defeat Mayavada philosophies and Buddhist philosophy. And they don't want to even meet them. Therefore, they would not stay in the main place, city and all. They would go to some small place, village, and stay there and practice their Shastra philosophy without meeting any Mayavadis, because they were not competent enough to defeat them. So they were living in a secluded place. This Achyuta Preksha is one of them. And his guru, Achyuta Preksha guru, when he was on the deathbed, he told Achyuta Preksha, my dear so-and-so, actually you must explain our philosophy, our Siddhanta. The difference between Advaitavada and Dvaitavada. This Advaitavadis preach there is no difference between the soul and the super soul. You must defeat, you must explain that soul is eternally subordinate to the Supreme Lord. You must preach and dispel the darkness of the ignorance, dispel the ignorance of the people. People are completely deviated from the original path due to the Mayavada philosophy. Therefore, you must bring them back by preaching the proper conclusion of the Shastra. This was the instruction of Achyuta Preksha's guru. After that, he gave up his body. So he was seriously contemplating how to execute the order of my spiritual master. How to execute the order of my spiritual master. So he was constantly contemplating. Then he went to Ananteshwara temple, which is in Udupi. So he was praying to Ananteshwara, my dear Lord, kindly bless me. Somehow or other, I should speak. I should propagate. I should fulfill the order of my spiritual master. So he was constantly praying to Ananteshwara to give the strength to fulfill the order of his spiritual master by preaching the philosophy of Dvaitavada. So one day, Ananteshwara, Lord Ananteshwara in Udupi, entered in the body of one person and went to Achyuta Preksha and said, very soon I will send my pure devotee to you. Very soon I will send my pure devotee to you. Through him, you will be able to fulfill the order of your spiritual master. Like that, he gave the instruction to Achyuta Preksha. Achyuta Preksha was very much pleased to hear this. Lord Anantadeva was given this word. He understood this instruction of Lord Anantadeva. He was hoping that one devotee will come. Meanwhile, he went home. Vasudeva, when he heard that one sannyasi is there, he came to meet him. So they became very close. Both the Vasudeva and Achyuta Preksha became very close. And Vasudeva's father was very anxious. He did not like his son is going to meet, young son is going to meet sannyasi every day. And he explained his concern, my dear son, you are too young. There is no need to go and meet sannyasi often. Then this Vasudeva said, no, I decide to accept sannyasa. Please give me permission. He said, no, should not speak like that. Please don't speak like this. Don't talk like this. We can't bear the pain of separation. Please think of your poor mother. The moment if you leave, she will die. She cannot live even a moment without seeing you. Please don't go. Madhvacharya said, no. This Vasudeva said, no. I've decided. I made up my mind. I want to go. So then finally he fell at the feet. Please don't go. You take care of us. Then you also get married. Once we leave the world, after enjoying the Grahastha life in a befitting manner, then when you become sufficiently old, at the time you can take sannyasa, not an issue. So he started saying that he falling at the feet. He said, no, please don't fall at my feet. Elders should not fall at the feet of youngers. Unless he is a sannyasi, one should not fall. Elder member of the family should not fall at the feet. Please forgive me. I have already fixed my mind. I want to take sannyasa. So he went. Then finally the Madhvacharya Bhatta went to Achyuta Preksha. He was preparing for initiation. So he went and told, my dear so-and-so, please don't give initiation to my son. Don't make him sannyasi. Achyuta Preksha could not speak anything because it was order of the Lord. Through Vasudeva, he should fulfill the desire of his spiritual master. So he could not speak anything. I kept quiet. And after that, he took Vasudeva to faraway place to give sannyasa. So again, the Madhvacharya Bhatta came to know the place. He went there. And somehow again he told, my dear son, please don't take sannyasa. According to Manu Samhita, the highest duty of a man is to serve one's parents. Please consider our position. Already 2 of my sons died. You are the only son who is living now. If you take sannyasa, who will take care of us when you become old? So he was explaining. Then at the time, Vasudeva said, my dear father, don't worry. Unless somebody is there to take care of you, I will not accept sannyasa. Without your permission, I will not take sannyasa. So he waited. Then in due course, Vedavati became pregnant. And Vasudeva came and told, see, now you will have a son who will take care of you. Now give your permission. If you want to see me always, then you give me permission, I'll become sannyasi. If you don't give permission, if you refuse to give permission, then I'll go to faraway place. You will not be able to see me at all. In this way, threatened, blackmailed in one sense. Of course, it's for the benefit of all of us, Madhvacharya to take this call. Then father, mother thought, okay, better let us give permission so that at least we'll be there, we'll be able to see him. So they gave permission. Then he came to Achyuta Preksha, and Achyuta Preksha awarded sannyasa. When he was around 11 or 12 years old, he took sannyasa. He was given the name as Purna Prajna Tirtha. Purna Prajna Tirtha was the name of Vasudeva. So after receiving the name, he received 3 dandas. Generally, Vaishnavas, Acharya will receive 3 dandas. Whereas Mayavadi philosophers, Mayavadi sannyasis will receive only 1 danda. Whereas Vaishnava sannyasis will receive 3 dandas that will be covered. So it means Vaishnava sannyasis generally they dedicate their body, mind, and words in the service of the Lord. So this Purna Prajna Tirtha, he wanted to dedicate his body, mind, and words in the service of Lord Krishna. Then he went to Ananteshwara temple, offered obeisance to Ananteshwara. At the time, Ananteshwara took this sannyasi to Achyuta Preksha and said to Achyuta Preksha, my dear Achyuta Preksha, since you are my unallied devotee, I am giving my devotee to you for fulfilling your spiritual master wish. So handed over Purna Prajna Tirtha to Achyuta Preksha. Achyuta Preksha was very, very happy that Lord has sent such a wonderful disciple, that I should use him to propagate the cult of devotional service by defeating all Mayavadis and Buddhists. So one day, after taking initiation, Purna Prajna came to a spiritual master and said, my dear master, I have got decided to go to Kashi. I want to take a dip in Ganga. Please give me your permission. So he said, okay, no problem, please go. Achyuta Preksha gave permission to Purna Prajna, his disciple. After giving permission, he started thinking, oh my God, if he goes to Ganges, it will take so many months for him to come back. How can I live without my disciple? It's very painful for me, even to think without my disciple. So immediately he prayed to Ananteshwara, my dear Lord, please kindly convince him that he should not go. I want to see my disciple. I want to see his lotus face always. So that was his prayer to Ananteshwara. Then Ananteshwara, because Lord naturally be inclined towards the desire of his devotees, then he entered the body of one person, and the person went to and told Purna Prajna, oh my dear so-and-so, why do you take trouble to go to Ganges? After 3 days, Mother Ganges will come here in the lake near to this place. In Udupi, there is one small lake is there. There, Mother Ganges will appear after 3 days. There is no need to go, take trouble to go to Kashi to take dip. So after 3 days, Mother Ganges appeared there in the Udupi. So he was very happy. He took dip, and previously that's called Ananta Tirtha. Then later become Madhvacharya. And since then, every 12 years, Mother Ganges flows into the lake. After this pastimes, maybe after a few months or after a month, once again, Purna Prajna came and told, my dear master, I want to visit South India, where the Mayavadi philosophers, Buddhist philosophers, they speak vigorously and put off all the philosophies, particularly our philosophy. I want to go and meet them. I want to go and defeat them. So he was charged at the time. Achyuta Preksha thought, he's a small boy. I will be able to defeat all the great scholars. It's a dangerous for you because sometimes they will kill also, they may harm also. So even when Chaitanya went to South India to preach, sometimes some people called the Bhattadaris, they went to attack Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So people, when they feel that they are defeated, they cannot keep quiet. They may ready to do anything. So he was feeling some kind of danger. He could feel the sense of danger for his disciple. Therefore, said, "Don't go." Then later, after some time, maybe a month later, there was one Pandita called Vasudeva. Very powerful person. Is a great scholar. Along with his disciples, he came to Udupi and he heard about uh, Achyuta Preksha, about his scholarship. So he came to meet him. He offered obeisances. Then finally he said, "I want to have a debate with you." So Achyuta Preksha and Purna Prajna Tirtha, both of them went, and he also, Vasudeva, the scholar, also sat. So Vasudeva scholar were sitting behind him, and Purna Prajna and Achyuta Preksha his followers sat behind them. So this person, Vasudeva, who came to defeat, he started speaking on the philosophy. He started putting forward many, many arguments. 3 days, 3 days, full days, continuously, non-stop, he was speaking. Perfectly was speaking. So all the people were amazed to see such a scholarship from this person. 3 days, non-stop, he was speaking continuously, without any flaw. So this Purna Prajna heard this. He accepted the challenge. Then he started refuting all the argument put forward by this Vasudeva scholar and smashed him completely. All the followers of Vasudeva also started arguing. Nevertheless, Purva Prajna did not, he completely defeated, smashed all of them with proper evidence from the Shastras. So when he saw who Achyuta Preksha, how the great scholars, were defeated single-handedly by Purna Prajna, he was very much pleased. And he thought, what is the need to explain further? I no need to teach him anything because he is a scholar already. Single-handedly defeat all the great personalities. So then he said, "My dear disciple, now let me become your disciple. You teach me what's the goal of life because you are such an exalted person." And so he begged to teach him the goal of life. So whenever Purna Prajna Tirtha had a time to take Bhagavatam and would read Bhagavatam, they were completely absorbed, both Achyuta Preksha and Purna Prajna Tirtha. They were reading Bhagavatam, hearing Bhagavatam. One day, they happened to hear Bhagavatam from somebody, and Achyuta Preksha, Purna Prajna Tirtha, he noticed clearly this reciters or the scholars are deviating from the original purpose of Bhagavatam. So then he suddenly he told his master that these people are deviating from the original purpose. Then Guru said, "You explain." Then Purna Prajna started explaining the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, perfectly explained the verse. It chanted the verse and explained meaning, everything. When Achyuta Preksha heard this, how is it possible for this small boy, maybe 12-year-old boy, to quote the verse from Bhagavatam and explain? He has not read even once. This small boy has not read the Bhagavatam even once. but he was able to recite perfectly and explain well. So he asked, my dear child, how did you learn? You have not read even once. How did you learn? How you are able to quote the verse properly? At that time, he said, uh, Purna Prajnatirtha said, my dear master, I knew all the verses. I learned everything in my previous birth. So, in this way, Purna Prajnatirtha was always absorbed in the Bhagavatam, started preaching Bhagavatam. He understood the Bhagavatam is the essence of all Vedic literature, a ripened fruit of all Vedic literature. This Bhagavatam appeared the moment Krishna disappeared from the earth. There is no difference between Krishna and the Bhagavatam. Therefore, you want to preach this Bhagavatam, establish the conclusion of our Siddhanta. That is, devotional service unto Lord Krishna is highest thing. That's highest perfection of our life. So he was preaching Bhagavatam without seeing any caste or anything. So he was preaching liberally to all the people. He wanted to somehow bring people, fallen people, to the right thoughts so that they'll be connected to Lord Krishna. They'll go back home, back to Godhead. That was the mood. So, this, if one want to understand the book Bhagavata, first one has to approach a person Bhagavata. The book Bhagavata and person Bhagavata, both are identical. Unless one serves person Bhagavata. Who is a person Bhagavata? One who practices his life, one who leads his life in terms of book Bhagavata is called a person Bhagavata, a pure devotee. One who leads his life according to book Bhagavata is called a person Bhagavata. So unless one takes shelter of person Bhagavata, one cannot understand book Bhagavata. So this person Bhagavata and book Bhagavata are very, very important if one wants to get rid of all the miseries and approach Lord Krishna. One must take shelter of person Bhagavata and book Bhagavata. First one has to take shelter of person Bhagavata. So unless one takes shelter of person Bhagavata, he cannot understand book Bhagavata. So even Vyasadeva very crystal clear explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam, very first, second, third verse. The very first verse, in the very first verse, Vyasadeva concluded that the ultimate truth is Krishna. Satyam Param. Krishna is a Satyam Param. Is the ultimate truth. There is nothing beyond Krishna. So he concluded very crystal clear. And the second verse, he explained, who? Vyasadeva. That one can understand that supreme truth through Bhagavatam. This Bhagavatam kicks out all kinds of scriptures which are materially motivated. By reading this Bhagavatam, one can understand Krishna. One can attain perfection. There is no need to read any other literature. This Bhagavatam alone is sufficient. This is the second verse. Third verse, he explained, how do we understand Bhagavatam? By reading Bhagavatam, by understanding Bhagavatam, we'll understand Krishna. Now, how do we understand Bhagavatam, book Bhagavatam? One has to take shelter of person Bhagavatam, like Shukadeva Goswami, or one who accepted the parampara, or one who follows in the footsteps of Shukadeva Goswami. One should approach him. In other words, book Bhagavata and person Bhagavata are just like the two eyes through which we can see the absolute truth. So, therefore, always one should render service unto devotees. Without rendering service unto devotees, one cannot understand what is Krishna, what is Bhagavatam. Even, for example, Narada Muni. So, when he was a small boy, he rendered service unto Bhakti Vedantas during 4-month rainy season without any expectation. The boy would serve the great devotees very nicely. And they were so pleased. The Bhakti Vedantas were so pleased with the service of the boy, and they blessed them. So unless one serve the pure devotees, person Bhagavata, one cannot develop any taste for devotional service. Because Narada Muni, in his previous life, he rendered service unto a person Bhagavata, he developed taste for book Bhagavata. He developed taste for Bhagavan Krishna. So once Prabhupada also, in the 1966, so he would give a small lecture twice a week. He rented a one small shop, matchless gift, some hall. He was giving lecture twice a week. He would come and give lecture. At the time, he had a few people, students. They would come and hear. They did not know any philosophy. They are all hippies. Nevertheless, they had a respect for Swamiji. At the time, Prabhupada was addressed as Swamiji. So these students, all few students joined. They want to give some surprise to Swamiji. So before Prabhupada would come to the hall, they thought, okay, let us clean the room. They started cleaning the room, toilet, and they removed the screen and washed and put back. And they went to Mark shop and brought some photos because Swamiji is from India. He would like to see Hindu god. They went to some shops, they saw monkey god, and somewhere they saw some lion god. They knew that somehow it belongs to India, Indian god. So they brought Hanuman picture and Narsimha. They started putting in the wall so that when Swamiji comes and would see, he would be impressed. So they made one small asana and some small asana, one platform they made. On the platform, they kept some asana and they kept some water bottle, kept some kartal so that Swamiji will come and play. So then all waiting, eagerly waiting, Swamiji will come. So Prabhupada entered and saw, he was surprised to see something, everything is new and nicely decorated and put a platform and asana and some pictures. So Prabhupada sat and looked at all the students. So now you are all advancing in Krishna consciousness. You are all advancing in Krishna consciousness. These people did not know any philosophy. Simply they want to serve Prabhupada. They want to please Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, you're all advancing in devotional service. Say, unless one renders service unto Vaishnavas, one cannot make any advancement in devotional service. Even in we can see the Ramanuja's pastimes already we have discussed when I was taking Ramanuja's life history. Nevertheless, I would further recall those things. Once Ramanuja, along with his disciple, he was reading Sastra Gita, one scripture. It describes about the glories of Sri Shaila. So they thought, okay, let us go to Sri Shaila. So they were passing through different places by doing Sankirtan. And in one village, Ramanuja had two disciples. One is Ignesha, he was a wealthy disciple, and another disciple was called Varadacharya. He was a poor Brahmana. Since he had many disciples, he did not want to go and disturb or trouble a poor Brahmana disciple. He decided, let me go to a rich disciple. So he sent some of his disciples, my dear so-and-so, go and tell Ignesha that about my arrival along with my followers or devotees, disciples. So two Vaishnavas, two messengers or disciples of Ramanuja came running and met Ignesha and said, so-and-so, our guru is coming. Today they are going to stay at your home. Please arrange all the things, necessary things. So he was very excited. Ignesha was very excited that his guru is going to come. Then what he did, he forgot to take care of the two disciples. And he started calling other people and told, you do this, you do this, you do this. And they were not taken care. They were not even given a glass of water nor offered a seat to sit. They were disappointed because they were neglected. The two people went and told Ramanuja that we were not taken care, we were not even offered a glass of water. When Ramanuja heard this negligence on the part of his disciple, that he failed to take care of Vaishnavas, he was completely dissatisfied. He was completely dissatisfied. Then my disciple failed to serve Vaishnavas. Therefore, I don't want to go to his house. Later, they went to the Brahmana house, who was very poor, Madhvacharya. So when at the time, generally Madhvacharya was poverty stricken, and every day he would go out and beg and would give to his wife whatever he bring from by begging, and wife would cook and offer, and they'll take prasadam. The wife was very chaste and beautiful. Her name was Lakshmi Devi. So when Ramanuja and his disciples came to Varadacharya house, at the time he went out already, had gone out for begging. So only the woman was there, and she received all the Vaishnavas, Guru and all the other Vaishnavas, and she offered water to wash their feet and told, you please go and take bath and come. I'll cook and offer lunch. So they all of them went to river to take bath. Meanwhile, she entered the kitchen. Nothing is there practically because poverty stricken. Unless husband comes, she cannot cook. So she was thinking. In the same village, there was one merchant, very rich merchant, who was trying to tempt this woman by favoring her, by giving some gold or something like that. He would send some female messenger, go and give this gold, go and give this money, and please speak in favor of me. And she was, because she was chaste woman, Lakshmi Devi, and she would never see the person also. She completely neglected, never even attempted to see him. So now suddenly she thought, no, the best way is to agree to his proposal so that I can get money and serve my spiritual master and Vaishnavas. So she immediately opened the back entry door and went to the rich man house and told, see, tonight I'll come and fulfill your desire. Now my Guru has come, Vaishnavas have come. I want to serve my Vaishnavas. My Guru, kindly you purchase all the items, vegetables, groceries and all. And this person was delighted to see. He thought, this woman, I cannot, she's chaste woman. I don't think she would agree. But now she herself coming to my house and she's ready to accept me. He was very happy and sent all the provisions. Whatever she asked, he purchased double and put in the bullock cart and sent. And she received and cooked everything and offered nice feast to all the Vaishnavas. All of them ate up to the neck and they were sitting on the veranda. At the time, Varadacharya was returning home. He did not get any food grain on the day. So when he saw the Guru and the Vaishnavas and all, immediately came and offered obeisance. He was very much pleased to see his Guru and the Vaishnavas at his house. Then everyone was appreciating such a wonderful feast your wife offered. Everyone started glorifying Lakshmi Devi. He knew very well that there is nothing at home. How is it possible for her to offer a wonderful feast to Vaishnavas? Then he took her to a room and asked, where did you get all the ingredients? She put her head down. She felt very much ashamed and she explained everything, whatever arrangement he had with that merchant. And when he heard this, instead of getting angry, he started dancing. My dear wife, I am very much pleased. He started dancing and said, I am so fortunate to have you as my wife because you understood the essence of Shastras. You understood the conclusion of the Shastra. The real enjoyer is the Lord Vishnu. Narayana is the real enjoyer. And who is represented? Ramanuja. Ramanuja was the representative of Lord Narayana. So you want to please Lord by sacrificing your own chastity. Actually, today you have proved your highest chastity. So immediately he brought his wife and said to Ramanuja, I am so fortunate to have Lakshmi Devi as my wife. Explained everything to Ramanuja. And Ramanuja told, no, you both of you have prasadam. Then after taking prasadam, he gave his Mahaprasadam. Ramanuja had left over some prasadam and told Lakshmi Devi and Varadacharya, you take this prasadam, go and meet this person. So then Lakshmi Devi, Varadacharya went to meet, and Varadacharya was standing outside. Lakshmi Devi went and opened the, knocked the door, and the person was eagerly waiting that when Lakshmi Devi will come. When they opened door, and she told, please have this prasadam. After you eat prasadam, let us enjoy. So he was very eager, and he started taking prasadam. Once he started taking the prasadam left by Ramanujacharya, so all the sins that he had, everything vanished. He became pure because he took Mahaprasadam. Immediately tears started falling from his eyes and said, oh my mother, actually I was about to commit sinful activity. I would have gone to hell. Now you saved me. Please forgive me. I want to enjoy you. I wanted to enjoy you. But if I'd enjoyed you, certainly I would have been vanquished. So now you saved me from the hell. Please take me to your spiritual master. I want to see your spiritual master. See, by the touch of devotees, he became purified. So all of them went, all Varacharya and Lakshmi Devi and the merchant went, and the merchant fell at the feet of Ramanuja and begged for initiation. Then later the merchant wanted to give wealth to this Varacharya. Ramanuja said, please accept the wealth, be happy. So Varadacharya said, no, I don't want any wealth. I am happy by your mercy. I am getting everything, whatever I want. Please don't ask me to take any wealth. Wealth is the root cause of all our problems. It will deviate from our real duty. So I don't want any money from anybody. Whatever I get by your mercy, that's enough. So Ramanuja was very pleased to hear that his disciple is free from all the material desire. Then he embraced him and said, today I became purified by touching you. So meanwhile, Yagnesha came to know that he felt that somehow he offended his guru. As a result, he did not come to his house. I went to the Brahmana house. Immediately he came to this Brahmana house. He saw Ramanuja. He fell at the feet of Ramanuja. My dear Lord, I was eagerly waiting for your arrival. Why did not come? Did I commit any offense? I said, yes, you committed a big offense. You did not take care of the Vaishnavas. The highest principle, duty of a Vaishnava is to take care of another devotee. You fail to receive Vaishnavas. You neglected Vaishnavas. The highest dharma is to render service unto Vaishnavas. You failed in that. Therefore, I was dissatisfied. You said, my master, it's not that out of my vanity I did not take care. When I heard that you are coming, I was excited. In that mood, I forgot to take care of them. Kindly forgive me. So when Ramanuja understood, don't worry, after visiting Sri Shailam, on the way back to Srirangam, I'll come to your house. From this we can see. So when we serve Vaishnavas, Lord will be pleased. Sutta Goswami says in Bhagavatam, Shushusho Shraddhadanasya Vasudeva Kataruchi Syanmat Sevaya Vipra Punyatirtha Nishevanat. By rendering service unto great devotees who are free from all material desires, great service is done. What happens? It develops ruchi, taste for Vasudeva Katha. So, unless one renders service unto Vaishnava, he cannot develop taste for hearing about Vasudeva Katha. So, even Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita also, those who take this message of Bhagavad Gita and preaches this message of Bhagavad Gita is very, very dear to me. Because devotees, they risk their life to propagate the cult of devotional service, to preach the message of Krishna. If such a devotees should be rendered service, servants of the Lord should be respected as good as God. Servant of God should be respected as good as God. For if one wants to go back to God. Because servants takes all kinds of risk. Therefore, they should be treated as good as God. They should be treated as good as God. If one takes care of such a devotee, nicely serves, naturally it develops taste for hearing about Vasudeva Katha. It develops taste for serving Lord Krishna. So for that, one has to render service unto a devotee. Even Yudhishthira Maharaj asked Narada Muni, inquired from Narada Muni, oh Narada Muni, we are all householders, grahasthas. How can we attain liberation easily? Because we are not sannyasis, we are also grahasthas. So how can we attain liberation very easily? So at that time, Narada Muni said, householder should earn money by honest means. Instead of enjoying the money, he should offer it to Lord Krishna. And householder should associate with the devotees again and again. Often, quite often, they should associate with devotees and hear the glories of Lord Krishna from devotees. By constantly hearing about the devotees, constantly hearing about Krishna from devotees, naturally they become free from all kinds of attachment from family or wife, son, friends and relatives, and develop attachment for devotional service. And further he said, a householder earn money, whatever he earns money, should spend in five ways. Should spend money for worshipping the Lord. Second, he should receive Vaishnavas and saintly person. Third, you should offer food to people and others. Fourth, he should offer food to forefathers. Fifth, he should offer food to himself. So in this way, one should spend this money by this five means. By doing this, one can attain liberation very easily. So serving Vaishnavas is very, very important. It's called a person Bhagavata. So Madhvacharya is a person Bhagavata, and he was preaching book Bhagavata. So person Bhagavata can preach book Bhagavata. So he was so exalted, and he was preaching the philosophy of Bhagavatam and freeing the people from the ignorance. And therefore he was awarded the title Bhagavata Pada. Bhagavata Pada. When his guru Achyuta Preksha saw that his sannyasi, his disciple, is preaching Bhagavatam so nicely, and people are getting convinced, and is able to defeat all the philosophers, Mayada philosophers, he was pleased and decided to make him as his successor. So he made him on the Vyasasana, and he was awarded the name called Ananda Tirtha. So since already we are running out of time, we'll end. We'll discuss further in the next session. Hare Krishna. Shla Prabhupada ki jai.